There are few genres as connected to a console as platformers were to the Nintendo 64. Now Playtonic is taking us back to the good old days of Animal Pals and collectibles. So, is Yooka-Laylee worth it? Let's find out. Nostalgia is a dangerous artistic tool, especially when it comes to video games. While each year brings an evolution of design and mechanics, players will still hold up decade-old titles as contemporary masterpieces. But it's often the feelings produced rather than the actual game that's so fondly recalled. Which is why Yooka-Laylee is such a brave experiment, revitalizing the systems and style of the early days of 3D platformers. And Playtonic have certainly delivered a faithful adaptation, but through this process, it becomes alarmingly clear just how archaic many of these abandoned concepts are. Frustrating, or in some cases antagonizing players with lackluster environments and problematic controls. Its slavish devotion to the past accurately recreates the golden age of the genre, but in equal turn it also replicates all of its pitfalls. Staying true to its influences, Yooka-Laylee doesn't feature much in the way of a story. In fact, the exposition is neatly wrapped up in just under 5 minutes. When the sinister capital B steals all the world's literature, the lizard bat duo Yooka and Laylee head into ivory towers to recover the golden pages of their favorite book. And that's the entire plot. When did the protagonists team up? Who knows? When did capital B amass his riches? No idea. How do the pair teleport inside of novels? Much like everything else, it's not directly answered. But this carefree storytelling is all part of the snarky fairy tale charm, where the outrageous cast of kooky characters outwardly question the logic behind each nonsensical scenario. This allows players to jump right into Yooka-Laylee's platforming collectathon, exploring the varied locations including haunted forests, icy mountains, and even a shady casino. But discovering the missing pages requires uncovering the myriad of challenges tucked inside each stage, wandering around the sizable locations until something seemingly organized pops up. Say, a button that begins a race, or a small room flooded with enemies. In other words, the objectives are straightforward, but finding them isn't. And this is where the problems begin. You see, the entire progression of enhancing or unlocking new stages relies on reaching a certain number of pages. And once the obvious activities are done, there are still plenty of collectibles hidden, requiring players to closely inspect every corner without any sort of uniform visual indicator. And this isn't just limited to the worlds themselves. Locating the next environment from the central hub is equally aimless. Then there's the missions themselves, which, while certainly varied, are constantly bogged down by the loose control. Yooka-Laylee's walking movement is best described as a rushed waddle, with the characters prepared to dart in any direction. This becomes further exacerbated in the speedy roll-balling form, where the duo are downright slippery. No matter how experienced I became, I never felt confident in the controls, with plenty of missed jumps and accidental damage. Even when new powers were unlocked, I couldn't overcome the core movement. This is a major issue as the majority of challenges are centered around quick execution. In short, the platforming is an awkward combination of unbound walking and stiff jumping. But Yooka-Laylee's strangest mechanic comes in its game show style boss fights. While there are still giant enemies to take on, gaining access to a new environment requires the pair to answer a series of multiple choice questions. Most of the time I simply guess my way to success, but prioritizing knowledge of the in-universe canon is an odd addition. Finally, there's the presentation, which is easily Yooka-Laylee's highlight. While the stage layout itself can be bare bones, the use of bold colors creates an inviting atmosphere rich for exploration. Likewise, the endearing character design allows for a variety of hilarious facial expressions. The orchestral and chiptune soundtrack delivers a sense of wonder and excitement, with playful rhythms and soaring melodies. However, the signature rare-style voice acting, which repeats a variety of goofy sounds, quickly grated on my nerves. So, is it worth it? No. Yooka-Laylee is a successful attempt in recreating a 20-year-old platformer. Nearly every aspect perfectly emulates the look, feel, and design of these classic titles. But it does so little to improve that particular experience, its dated mechanics become tedious, limiting its creativity to a bygone era rather than rising above it. Yooka-Laylee comes off as an academic exercise instead of an evolution of the genre, and from that perspective, there are some redeeming qualities in its execution. But as an actual game, Yooka-Laylee's sloppy controls, directionless design, and gated progression spoil any long-form enjoyment. Yooka-Laylee is currently available on the PlayStation 4, PC, and Xbox One for $40. If you've had a chance to play it, let me know what you thought. And if you haven't, let me know if you plan on picking it up. My name is Colin Tanner, and I'll see you in the next video.